Once all the elements are placed, we can move on to the annotations. First, we can set up the room tags. We can name each room using the room tag. Room tag creates a tag for all rooms which are enclosed by walls on 4 sides. Room tag is activated by clicking on the room tag button in the Room and Area panel of the Architecture tab. Then we can click on each room to place the room tag. In this way we can tag all closed rooms. We can see that when the cursor is moved to an open area, the room tag cannot detect boundaries. In such cases, the room separator tool is helpful. Use this tool to draw the boundary lines in open rooms. In this way we can draw the lines in the dining room, sit out and the car porch area. Once the lines are drawn, we can try using the room tag. Now we can see that room tags can be created for these areas. Now that all the tags are created, we can click on the names and edit the names of each of the rooms. I am speeding up through the naming process. In this way all the rooms can be renamed. We can see that the room number is visible in the room tag. To hide this, select the tag and then click on the Edit Type button. Then in the Type Properties, uncheck the room number and click OK. We can see that the room numbers are not visible now. Now we can adjust the text so that it is not overlapping the components. When we select the text, we can see that a move arrow is displayed. By clicking and dragging the arrow, the text moves. Using this option, we can move the text boxes to desired position. In this way the room tags can be created and modified. Now that we have set up the room tags, we can edit the view boundaries and set up the elevations and sections. First, we can edit the placement of the grid lines. When we click on a grid line, the temporary dimensions show up. We can click and drag the grid line to new position. As all the grid lines are locked together, when we edit the position of one grid, automatically all other lines move along with it. In this way we can adjust the grids on all 4 sides. We can also create a grid line aligned to the columns in the car porch. Now we can see that few grids do not have the name shown. Just select the grid and a checkbox appears on the sides with no name. Selecting the box activates the grid name. In this way we can adjust the grids to desired position. Now if we zoom out, we can see that the elevation arrows are not in optimum position. So we can move each of the arrows and place them such that they are centered to the floor plan. This is to make sure that when we set up the sheets, the elevation views are in focus of the building. We can also extend the section line such that it cuts through the whole building. Now we can see the method of applying color scheme to the floor plan view. Click on the drop down below the Room and Area panel. We can see the Color Scheme panel. Clicking on it opens the Edit Color Scheme dialog. In it we can see the category drop down from which select the heading rooms. Now we can see that all the rooms we created using room tag are listed and color is assigned to each room. We can also change the scheme name. By clicking on the color buttons, we can also change the colors assigned to each room. Now when we click OK, we see that the colors are not applied to the rooms yet. Go to the graphics options in the property bar and click on the None next to the color scheme option. Now in the window that opens, select the Room Legend option, which is the name of the scheme we created. Now we can see that the color scheme has been applied. This is useful for conceptual presentation drawings. However, do not use this option while taking black and white drawings, as it will affect print quality. Now we can add the dimensions. Since we have already set up the center line grid, it is very easy to add dimensions. Go to the Annotation tab and select the Linear Dimensions, or we can also use the Linear Dimensions button in the Quick Actions toolbar. Now we can easily draw the dimensions by clicking continuously on each of the grid line. Once all dimensions are completed on one side, we can move the cursor up or down and then click to specify placement position. In this way, dimensions have been created on all four sides of the grid lines within a matter of minutes. We can also easily change the grid names. Select the name and click on it. Automatically it goes to edit mode and we can give a new name. In this way we can change the grid names such that the horizontal grids are alphabetical and vertical grids are numerical. Now we can set up the elevation and section views. First, let us go to the east elevation view. Here we can see that the level lines are placed very far from the building. So we can select a level line and then pull and drag it to a closer position. Since all the level lines are locked together, we can pull and draw all the lines to new location at the same time. We are making it close together such that all elements will be visible when placed in the sheet. We can also change the scale to 1:50 so that the scale of the text is optimal. We can repeat these steps using the same methods for the west, north and south elevations. I have sped through the process so that we can see that we are following the same steps again and again on all four views. Once the elevations are set up, let us open the section view. Here we can click and drag the view boundary so that the whole building becomes visible in the section view. Here we can see that all the components we had placed earlier are visible. Now we can adjust the position of the level lines. Once everything is as desired, we can go back to the plinth view. Now we can set up the sheets. In the project browser, go to the Sheets option. Right-click on it and select a new sheet. We can see in the window that opens that only A1 sheet is loaded. Click on the Load button to open Windows Explorer. Here from the Title Blocks folder we can select A4 sheet size and then load it into the project. Now we can drag and drop the plinth floor plan into the sheet. We can move the view on the sheet and place it in desired position. We can see that the placed plan view also has the same scale as that of the floor plan view. We can go to the floor plan view to change the scale such that it can fit on the sheet. Click the Scale option and in the Customize option input the desired scale. We need to go back and forth between both the plinth and sheet view to modify and place the view on the sheet. The name of the view is also shown in the bottom. We can select and drag the two sides such that the heading also fits inside the sheet. We can also adjust the grid lines and elevation arrows so that they fit better on the sheet. By going back and forth between the sheet and floor plan view, we can adjust and modify elements scale and placement to make sure that the view fits on the sheet as desired. We can also rotate the view on the sheet. Select the view. Then in the options bar we can select the direction of rotation. Here I am changing it to 90° clockwise direction. Now we can move it and place it on the sheet. We can see that in this way the plan fits better on the sheet. We can also select and move the title such that it moves within the sheet. We can click on the sheet and edit the sheet name to ground floor plan. We can also change the project name to residence. Now in the same way we can set up the east elevation view. We can create a new sheet view as before and select the A4 sheet option. Now we drag and drop the east elevation view onto the sheet. We can see that the scale is too large for the sheet. So we can change the scale to 1 in 100. Now going back to the sheet view, we can see that the scale is correct. We can rotate the view in 90-degree clockwise direction to make the view fit on the sheet. We can also drag and move the elevation line and heading such that it fits within the sheet. We can go back to the elevation and adjust the level lines for better visibility. We can go back to sheet view and change the name to east elevation. We can see that the project name has automatically changed to residence. Here we can see that using the same steps other elevation and section views are created. Now that the sheets are created, we can save them as PDF. In the application menu, select the print option. In the print window that opens, we can choose the printer as Adobe PDF and then select the sheets to be printed. We can go into the printer properties and select the paper size and also the layout orientation. Once all aspects are set as desired, we can click OK and input a name for the saved file. Now we can see that the sheets are printing and sheets are created as PDF. We can see in the pages of the PDF file that the PDF has the same sheets we created. Thus using these steps, sheets can be created in Revit.